Hi, my name is Leigh, and I'd like to welcome you to Alchemy Intuitive Arts. I am your mystic guru to take you on a cosmic trip around the spiritual galaxy. So if that piques your interest, then punch your ticket and climb aboard, and let's explore the universe together. I'd like to welcome all my returning subscribers. Thank you. And I'd like to welcome all my new viewers. Thank you. And if you're not a subscriber, well, I'd like to invite you to join the conversation. And with that said, let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about divine timing. Divine timing. You hear that term, divine timing, thrown around in the spiritual community, and it's very critical because divine timing is what controls everything. Everything in your world is controlled through divine timing. It's important to understand what is divine timing. Now, the term divine implies, something perfect or godlike. So divine timing is essentially a moment, a point in space and time dimension where the divine, which is the ultimate, highest loving light frequency, merges into that point in time. When that occurs, an event will happen. Divine timing is basically ordained by God, Jah, the Most High. It's an event that occurs at the perfect time. And the thing that confounds people is that we have our plan about when we want things to happen. And we have our plan, our timing, which is earthly timing. And timing is not related to that time. Divine timing occurs when an event has the perfect, let's say, vibration or frequency, and it creates an event. It creates a thought form. It is actually created by a thought. That thought is coupled with the divine. And when we look at the universe and we put our thoughts out through our crown chakra and we receive downloads through our crown chakra and we use our discernment of our third eye and we have emotions attached to that thought through our heart chakra, we may even speak words through our throat chakra. and we will have created some courage or some forward momentum or some action through our solar plexus chakra, and even through our sacral chakra. We have passion, we have desire for that event, and then through our root chakra we are grounded. So we're very clear about what it is that we want and what it is that we desire. And when these chakras are working in unison and they are working to create a frequency, a vibration that goes out into the universe and connects with the great chaos space, you could say, there is chaos. The place, so to speak, it's actually a point in time and space continuum where that frequency collides with the chaos and creates an event that is in divine timing. We often want divine timing to happen right away, or whenever we want it to happen, next week, next year, 2 years from now, after I do this one thing over here, or after I get some rest, or after I, meet up with somebody. Whenever we want that divine timing to occur, we have it in our head when that should occur. But divine timing occurs in its own time. And we, at least many of us, are not adept at knowing when that time is. And the whole thing of spirituality is to, kind of tune yourself, tune your cavity, tune your soul, tune your body, tune your thoughts, tune your words, tune everything into that divine connection. That you become adept at sending your frequency out with discernment, with love and gratitude and understanding and peace and compassion and joy. And the more that we can experience those emotions, the passion of what we want, then the greater our probability is of having divine timing happen with the event that we desire. Maybe there's somebody that you want to be with. Maybe there is some abundance that you want to receive, whether it be physical, spiritual, emotional, any type of abundance. Maybe there is a job, or maybe there is a car, maybe there is an event that you want to have happen. Well, that event is not going to happen. That person's not going to arrive. That job is not going to happen unless you are tuned and open to be receptive to the divine timing, to send out your frequency, your vibration into the chaos, into the ethers, in order to create an event, create something that you desire, create a manifestation. And if you're not in alignment with that divine timing, this will never happen for you. Say you want to put negativity on somebody. You wish ill on somebody. And you send out that negative frequency, which, by the way, is a low vibration. And if that person is of higher vibration, they're going to not receive any kind of negative frequency because they're staying in a higher vibration. And so that frequency is going to go out, and most likely it's going to either connect with somebody else in your sphere of energetic influence, and it may affect them, or it's going to come back to you. Is a form of divine timing because that frequency is matching up in the way that you intended it with that frequency within the divine chaos. So all actions are controlled by the divine in concert with you, your frequency, your intention, your manifestation. People think manifestation is just like something that you can just do X, Y, Z, you know, you light a candle and then you think of this and that, and then all of a sudden this is going to show up. Well, that can help in your intention, but everything shows up in divine timing. And so if there's something that you want or someone you want, it will only show up if you are in alignment with that individual in terms of frequency, in terms of vibration, in terms of resonance. When you and that person overlay or line up in terms of your frequency, that's when you're going to match. You've got to match, just like on Tinder. You've got to match. What is it, swipe right or swipe left? You know, that's kind of like if you're not a match, you're swiping one way, and if you are a match, you're swiping the other way. I don't know which way is which, but that's kind of the way it works. When you are a match, it's divine timing. Tinder, both people have to match up, right? They both have to swipe the same way for each other. And that creates that match. And I think it says you are a match. That's how it works. Only consider one, your frequency, and one, the divine timing, or matching up in the ethers to create a match with and through and by way of divine timing. It's important when you want to manifest something, or when you want to create something, that you keep your energy as clean, as clear as possible. You know, try not to pollute your energy with negativity from things, other people, from negative thoughts, from negative behavior, from addictions, alcohol, other people's energy signatures that you may pick up when you're swiping for example, or when you're just around people, you can collect their energetic signature. You know, it interacts with your field. And so it's so critically important that we are aware of divine timing and how it works in our life. And is divine timing a religious term? No, divine timing is a spiritual term, but the divine is discussed a lot in religion, and how the divine assists you in making good decisions. And for example, the Bible has many passages about how to protect yourself, how to cover yourself, how to treat other people correctly, how to, you know, lead a life that is in order or in concert with the divine or with God. Many people, you know, they do not, you know, follow these texts per se. Some people have other religions, and that is perfectly all right, because all religions basically lead to home. You know, they all essentially say something similar. There are some that, you know, may incorporate things that I don't necessarily agree with, but if you're living a life that is in concert with the divine, then you can't go wrong. You will not be bringing any negative karma into your life. You will not be harming anybody. You will be in a positive, I call it bank account, of karma or dharma, positive karma. But the goal is to live in balance, to not have negative, to not be overzealous about things, just to live in complete balance. When your frequency, your vibration, your intention lines up with the divine and matches up in the chaos, there is an event that occurs, or a person or a thing will come into your reality. Well, we're really not taught how to create anything at all. We're not taught about ourselves being a resonant cavity, that we are a frequency that we put out into the universe, that we receive frequencies from the universe, that we can use our discernment, that we can be affected by things around us, by people, by places, by things. I mean, even look at this haunted doll, Annabelle, that is going around right now, and how she has some kind of energy attached to her that is negative. And, you know, energy can be attached to anything. Energy is within everything. Everything has its energetic signature. Trees, animals, flowers, any kind of form has an energetic signature. The people in our life, we invite in through our thoughts and through our desires, through our passion, and through our discernment or lack thereof. And believe me, I have brought in a lot of negative people into my life over the years. And I've had to deal with the consequences of those choices. And unfortunately, because of the way I grew up, I did not realize that I had a choice. I was just being me. I wasn't trying to, put out a frequency or be intentional about what I do. I was just receiving whatever was the closest match to my vibration at the time. And, having gone through many traumas growing up and as a child and even as an adult, these traumas impacted the people that I attracted. And so I began to, as I got older, I began to become more intentional about what it is that I wanted in my life, and to put up boundaries around what it is that I want in my life. And I became very careful about who I entertained, and when I say entertained, I mean spend my time with. And I began to remove people from my life, people that I felt were not on my same wavelength or did not really care about me, who did not understand me or see me. And people who would disparage me or talk behind my back or try and isolate me or try and make me look bad or whatever it was, interfere, steal, take, capitalize, whatever it is you want to call it, assault, cause trauma, cause negative chaos in my life. All those people I began to cut out of my life and to keep them out, because I don't want any of those frequencies in my life unless they care about me, unless they're intentional, unless they want to reciprocate, or unless I am divinely guided into a situation to help them elevate. And we all are. We all are divinely guided into other people's lives to help them have a lesson and to help us have a lesson. The negative people in my life have given me lessons. And boy, have they given me lessons. And many people choose not to learn their lessons. They continue to go back to the same negative people over and over again. And what do they say? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Well, that can happen with people too. We can hook up with certain people, exchange energy with them, maybe start a relationship with them, and these people are not reciprocating. They have other things in mind. They don't actually have love for you for whatever reason. We're not disparaging them. They just have different motives. They're on a different path. And this is how life works. So I am encouraging you here today to think about what divine timing means in the context of this video, and what is it that you're attracting into your life right now. Is there a person, or is there an event, or is there something that is occurring that is meant to teach you a lesson, that is meant to help you raise your elevation, your frequency, your vibration? Think about those things and think of where and how you can change that for yourself so that you can live a more meaningful, happy, healthy, satisfying, calm life. Peace. Love. Thank you.